Welcome to the first of 5 modules designed to lead you through an exploration of project-based learning. These training modules were created to support our teachers in their understanding and implementation of high-quality project-based learning based on the gold standard PBL model by PBL Works, which was previously known as the Buck Institute. Project-based learning is not a new instructional approach. In fact, many of you are already doing it and have been doing so for years. However, PBL now has a new respectability and an ever-growing number of proponents. You hear a lot about it these days. So PBL Works has played a central role in project-based learning's growth and has worked for over 20 years to identify and shape PBL best practices. So for these reasons and more, the gold standard PBL model will be our adopted model for our trainings. So our objectives for today's module are for you to work as a PLC to gain foundational knowledge in the key elements of PBL, to become an expert in one key element of PBL, and to engage in a PBL-based protocol that can be used in the classroom. So please follow the directions included in this video for you to engage in this training with your colleagues. Before we begin, let's take some time to think about some reasons why for PBL. So I'd like to ask you to describe your ideal graduate from the K-12 system. As Dr. Noble likes to say, we all teach seniors, and as elementary teachers, you are building the foundational skills for our future seniors. So I'd like you to first think quietly to yourself, what does your ideal graduate know or believe about themselves as learners or about learning in general? What are things they can do? What knowledge, skills, or dispositions do they have? And what does your ideal graduate care about? So reflect on those questions and just independently jot down some ideas or just have things ready in your head and take 1 minute to do that. After you've had 1 minute to pause and reflect, I want you to share your thoughts with a partner for a minute. So if one person in the room can be a timekeeper and time out those 1 minute for reflection and the 1 minute to share your thoughts, you may begin this activity now. What is generally found when doing this ideal graduate activity is that lists made by teachers are remarkably similar. So up on the screen, you'll see a couple of the common attributes that are listed for an ideal graduate, and these might be very similar to the words that you wrote down or discussed with your partner. So we have the ideal graduates are generally problem solvers, responsible, work well with others, can work independently, are critical thinkers, are confident, they manage their time and work effectively, and can communicate well with others. What's beautiful about project-based learning is that it provides opportunities for students to build these qualities, as well as more deeply learn traditional academic content and understand how it applies to the real world. While project-based learning is not a cure-all for everything in education, it is a powerful teaching method that helps to motivate students, prepare them for college and career and citizenship, and help them meet standards, demonstrate in-depth knowledge, and thinking skills. Now that we have some of those ideal graduate characteristics in mind, let's talk a bit more about our why. So PBL Works believes that project-based learning is vital for preparing young people for the modern world and want to help ensure that project-based learning becomes a regular practice in more classrooms. So they've developed their process with real student, teacher, and administrator stakeholders in mind, and they provide an abundance of free, easily accessible materials to make project-based learning a reality. Essentially, their vision for project-based learning aligns with our own Seaman vision. In our district, we have set the stage for project-based learning integration through the development of our strategic plan. Strategic Goal 1 states that we want to ensure teaching and learning programs are delivered with a focus on continuous improvement of student achievement through student engagement, rigorous and relevant content, and personalized learning. Project-based learning is a key factor in helping to meet each of those qualifications. Additionally, the Kansas State Department of Education Kansans Can project has the 4 principles that you see here. In order for Kansas to achieve its vision of leading the world in the success of each student, we have to think differently about how we're educating students. So not only does project-based learning meet the needs of personalized learning by allowing for student choice in their learning, it is a specific pedagogical approach that allows for students to experience real-world application. So what is project-based learning? Let's do a quick individual think on this question. What terms would you use to describe what you know of project-based learning? Let's pause and give you a chance to jot down some key terms you would use. Here is PBL Works' official definition. Project-based learning is a teaching method in which students gain knowledge and skills by working for an extended period of time to investigate and respond to an authentic, engaging, and complex question, problem, or challenge. My guess is that many of the terms you wrote down are closely related to some terms you see included in this definition. So how are we going to engage in the work of building capacity for teaching project-based learning as defined by PBL Works? As mentioned earlier, this is the first of 5 modules you will be completing. Today's module has been designed to build your familiarity with the gold standard PBL model. Over the course of the year, you will complete 4 additional modules. The next on November 11th, where you will explore how to design challenging problems or questions. Module 3 on January 3rd will get you storyboarding your first project. Module 4 on March 6th, you will continue to create a project roadmap while exploring how sustained inquiry and assessment play essential roles. And then your final module will be on April 24th, where you complete an exploration of PBL with a project plan for the following year. So our driving question for these modules is, how can we plan an effective project for all of our students? Which means that by the April 24th date, we want you to have 1 project designed for the following year. However, consider that you are doing this work within your PLCs. If you divide and conquer or work together to plan projects in small groups, you could come away with multiple PBL units within your grade level or content area that could be utilized. Now it is time to really dive into the gold standard PBL design elements. PBL Works created this comprehensive, research-based gold standard model for PBL to help teachers, schools, and organizations to measure, calibrate, and improve their practice. So this term is used in many industries and fields to indicate the highest quality process or product. Their conception of gold standard PBL is based on the student learning goals, which are at the center of the process, and the essential project design elements, which are shown in the shaded sections of this diagram. So instead of explaining through this module video about each component, we want you to engage in a learning activity where you become the expert on one of these elements in order to teach others in your PLC. Let's discuss how this essential elements activity is going to work. First, everyone needs to navigate to the project-based learning pre-K through 6 course that you've been added to in Schoology. Everyone has access to this course, and through the course is where you will find the different modules that we will engage in on our upcoming professional learning days. Once you're in the PBL course, you want to navigate to the Module 1 folder, and at the bottom of the folder, you will see these documents and activities which you will be engaging in today. At this time, please pause the video to make sure everyone can access the course and get into the Module 1 folder. If for some reason you are unable to access the Schoology course, please email Megan, and for today's activities, partner up with someone beside you. Your task is to use the Essential Project Design Elements article and Product Design rubric documents that are available in the Schoology course in order to prepare a poster to teach your PLC members about your assigned topic. Your poster must define the element or student learning goals of your topic, include a favorite quote from the article, and incorporate an image as a visual aid. So to complete the task, you're first going to count off by 8 in your PLC. You will then use the topic chart, which an image is coming up next, in order to determine your assigned topic. You will then read your assigned section in the gold standard PBL, Project Design Elements PDF, and the Project Design Rubric PDF, both of which are in the Module 1 folder of the Schoology course. You're reading those in order to become experts on your specific topic. Once you've finished your readings, you will then be back on the Schoology course and open up the Essential Project Design Elements poster link, which is there. It's a link to a Google Doc, and when you click on it, it will first ask if you want to make a copy. So you will say, yes, I want to make a copy. And then when your copy opens up, it will have a reminder up at the top of what you're supposed to put on your poster, and then you will fill in your poster elements and be ready to share with the group. Please pause the video now to number off from 1 to 8. Based on how you numbered off, these are the topics you'll be learning more about. So if I am a 2, I am only going to read the challenging problem or question section of the article and only read the challenging problem or question components in the rubric. At this time, please pause the video, have someone set a timer for 15 minutes, and have everyone in the room read their assigned topic in the article and the rubric, and click on that poster link in the Module 1 folder to complete their Google Doc poster. We're not sharing anything about the poster now, you're just filling in your poster with those required elements. Now that you've had an opportunity to complete your poster for your assigned topic, it is time to share your poster with the group. Follow along for instructions on how to engage in the carousel presentations protocol. This is similar to a jigsaw activity and is a protocol that can be adapted to a PBL activity in your classroom for students to be able to share work with each other. Once again, you will need to designate a timekeeper in each PLC for this activity. So similar numbers will stand and present together. So for example, all 1s will stand and either go to the front of the room and stand and turn their computers so their audience can see their computer screens, or one of the numbers can project their screens if desired. So the experts for each topic will have 2 minutes to share about their topic with the audience. Audience members, you are to open up the Essential Elements note-taking pages Google document on Schoology and record notes about each of these topics as the presenters are sharing. Following the presentation, you will have 1 minute to discuss as a group any questions or connections that you have made to the topic. Time limits must be followed, so make sure your designated timekeeper will hold you to them. You will then repeat until all experts have presented and all topics have been completed in your note-taking documents. Once you have your timekeeper identified and ready, and everyone has the note-taking pages document open and ready on their computers, then once you may begin your presentation. You have reached the end of Module 1 and hopefully now have a deeper understanding as to what is project-based learning and the essential project design elements we will be exploring over the course of the year in our trainings. As a final activity, please complete the discussion board activity that you see at the bottom of the Module 1 course on Schoology. Thank you for engaging in this work and for all that you do for our CMN students.